Yo,
What do you say?
not much, man. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just gonna adjust my headphones here.
How was your weekend? All right?
It was good. I played ball all weekend. Up in Laconia. What a fucking hike.
From where you are, it's a hike?
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half. It's a long ride for a game.
Is that park, do they still take good care of it up there?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Tiny. It's like a wiffle ball park.
Yeah, I mean it's 310 to the Green Monster. So, I mean it's the same, literally the same as Fenway in that regard.
Yeah, that's not an actual 37-foot fence, though.
It's up there. I think it's like 28 feet.
Is it that high?
Yeah, it's pretty high. So left field's legit. Center's like 365. It's not that deep. And then right field's 310 as well, but with a short fence. So that's
Right.
kind of short.
Yeah.
So I had fun though. I caught all weekend. My legs hurt today.
How's your back? How's your rotator cuff?
It's all good. Everything else is fine. Just my legs are a little sore.
Your elbow?
It's good.
Good.
My arm feels better than it ever has in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just because I kind of like picked up pitching a little bit in the last couple of years. So now I'm like throwing more and my arm is just stronger. So I'm happy with that.
Good.
So how about speaking of arms, how about Bello, Houck, and Pivetta getting their shit pushed in 3 days in a row?
Well, they faced a good team.
Turn this music down, huh? I want to do that. Yeah, they did.
I listen. They're all getting close to their highs on innings. I know Pavetta's a little light compared to the other two, but
yeah, Houck's over now. He's over his career high. I think Bello is right there, and Pivetta doesn't have far to go. So because he hasn't been healthy every year, so
right.
he doesn't have 200 innings under his belt.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
I think 184 or 185 was his ceiling. But so I watched them. Watched all 3 games. None of them looked like themselves. Well, Hulk did okay, but compared to how he's pitched most of the season,
okay. I think he had 9 earned runs, didn't he?
Were they all earned?
I think 8 were earned.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, I mean,
it was a rough weekend.
They kept coming and coming and coming.
Yeah, because didn't he allow 2 3-run home runs to Machado?
Yeah, but I thought one of them came after an error, but maybe they didn't.
Yeah, that's brutal. Machado just had a weekend.
Well, he's a hell of a player, and he's he's an underrated player. With the pundits, but he's just a douche on the field. Like he does some of the dumbest things. He's kind of got a little A-Rod in him, like with that some of the stuff he does in the field. But he's about as talented. I got him as the second best third baseman in the history of the game.
In the history of the game, huh?
Yeah.
After what?
Yeah.
Brooks Robinson?
Schmidt.
Okay.
Schmidt.
Okay.
And
I'll
I
put him in the top 10 for sure.
Oh, well, he top 10. He may have the best arm and he may have the best hands. If he was a little more consistent with the bat, he might be the best, in my eyes, the best third baseman of all time.
Oh, see, I think he might be the best offensive third baseman of all time, but like not defensively. I don't think he's in Roland or Brooks Robinson's neighborhood.
Really? Wow.
I mean, Roland was filthy.
I think he's unbelievable defensively. And
he is.
Yeah. I think
he definitely is. I don't mean that as a slight.
I think he may have the best arm of all time defensively.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's getting there, right? I mean, he's got some work to do, and he's not going to get in on the first try because he's kind of a dick. But
I think the media likes him though. I think it's the players that don't love him.
Yeah.
So he's not like a dick like Jim Rice was a dick. He's a dick like the players don't like him.
Right.
I
But
think
today
he's a nice guy to talk to.
when things are going good, I think he's probably a great guy to talk to. But he's a hell of a player nonetheless, and he had a monster, weekend and a monster day. So he looked good in a Red Sox uniform. I always said he looked good in a Red Sox uniform.
He sure would. Half that team would.
Oh my God, I know.
I mean, Arise is just such a good hitter, and even when he's not a good hitter, the ball just finds a way to get through. And I don't care what the metrics say about that. He's got some way of getting the ball through the infield.
Hitters hit.
Yep.
Hitters, Wade Boggs, hitters hit. That was his claim to fame. Hitters hit.
Yep. And he's playing a pretty good first base too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a second baseman, but they slid him over to first. He's doing pretty good over there.
So I've seen some talk that he could be on the trading block. But I mean, why would they want to trade him?
They just got him, right?
Yeah.
Like literally just got him like months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would they trade him? I mean, they're still,
I don't know.
They're like right in the playoff hunt.
Yeah. Well, I've seen, who else did I see? I saw someone was proposed a trade for Jack Merrill for somebody. I think that I
like Jackson Merrill. That kid's a stud.
But listen, who knows what they're gonna do? That guy is crazy. I saw another trade where they were gonna trade for Crochet, and they were going to give up a shitload of people for Crochet, including I think Merrill was in that trade. That's the trade I saw.
Oh, that's absurd. I mean, Merrill's in the conversation for gonna be one of the best players in the league in a few years.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you could get Crochet, Crochet's making $800,000 this year.
Merrill's a rookie.
Yes,
and he's hitting 282.
And he's playing center field. He's a shortstop.
Yeah. I mean, he's got power. He's got 12 home runs, 11 doubles. Yeah, he doesn't strike out a ton. He doesn't walk very much, but
yeah,
he's got a little bit of speed. He's gonna be 2020 this year.
He's gonna be a good player. He's gonna be a hell of a player.
Yeah, God, I wouldn't trade him for anything.
But if you could get Crochet, you wouldn't trade him for Crochet?
No, fuck no.
Wow.
I mean, Crochet's having a great season, and he looked great in a Red Sox uniform right now. But do you think Crochet is like an ace, for a long period of time? I mean, he was a relief pitcher until just this year.
Yeah, I no. Do I think he's an ace yet? No, but he's certainly got the makings. I mean, he threw another 6-inning, 12 strikeout, 3 hits, 0 walk gem the other day.
Yeah,
and I think he's just figuring it out, as a starter. So
I just think that pitchers are to trade someone like Jackson Merrill, who's going to be like a franchise cornerstone type player. I think trading for a pitcher right now is foolish, only because they're all going to get hurt at some point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, but I think you're not going to get Crochet for cheap, right?
No, you're not going to get him for cheap. But I mean, we're talking. I mean, Jackson Merrill's he's everything.
Good player.
He's a 5-2 player. He's great.
Speaking of 5-2 players, my guy Jared Duran all of a sudden get a little home run juice.
Yeah, a little bit.
Can he get to my
2020? No,
2020.
He'd have to go on quite a tear to get 20 home runs.
So what's he at? 11?
I think it's 10 now, right?
Okay, so if he's at 10, then he's definitely got a shot.
Oh, so he's only at 9.
9. Okay. So
yeah.
Even still, he's definitely got a shot.
You get a shot, yeah.
3 months. The summer months, I hear. I mean, that's only 3 home runs a month.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't do what he did last year, though, and just disappear in the second half.
Well, listen, we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
With the All-Star break coming, who knows what's going to happen after that, right? Some guys are going to go in the toilet, and some guys are going to come out of their all-season slump, right? So let's hope that he's not one of those guys. So, but he's still hitting.
I'll keep saying it. He proved me wrong. He's having a great season. I saw it floated out there today. I don't know if it was passing or somebody else. But I was seeing a Walker Buehler straight up for Kenley Jansen. Both free agents to be.
Walker Buehler's not ready. He's not healthy. I mean, he doesn't help the Red Sox.
Well, I think he helps the Red Sox if Bello's going to continue to have a 6 ERA and they continue to have a hole in the 5th spot.
Well, I mean, has Buehler thrown a good game this year?
I don't think so. No, I haven't been following too closely to the Dodgers anymore, just because Mookie's not there. So I haven't been watching every day like I would be.
Yeah,
but I'll certainly look him up.
He's got to have an ERA in the 5s, I would assume.
Yeah, I'm looking him up right now. Yeah, he does. He's got a 5.84, which is about where Bello
almost
is.
6.
Yeah, he's 1-4 in 8 starts. Let's see if there's a game log here.
He doesn't help the Red Sox this year.
No, probably not.
And what's Bello's ERA now?
Same. It's like 5.6 or something like that.
Is it really? Jesus.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Wow.
I mean, he got lit up the other day too. So
big time.
Yeah, That was a rough weekend. It was kind of. I mean, I'm glad they salvaged Sunday. That was nice. But that Waldron character is, he's not their best pitcher.
No.
So they had to beat him. That was a must-win game, in my opinion. So before you start facing some division guys, you don't go 0-3 against the Padres.
Was that Winkowski pitched that game?
Yeah, he was good. He 4 hits in like 5 innings, 5.2 innings, something like that.
Did you see what Rafael? I want to call him Rafael Ortiz. You see what Rafael Devers said about Winkowski?
No, what did he say?
So after the game, they're interviewing him because he had a home run in the first at bat, right? And they said they asked him, what do you think about Winkowski? Well, Winkowski's outing, and he said, I don't know why he was in AAA. He's one of our best pitchers in the organization.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And he sounded AAA.
Yeah, I mean he does have a 2.8 ERA in the majors this year.
Okay, how many innings?
35 innings. It's not a ton of innings, but he has performed well this year, and he did perform well at times last year. I mean, we both thought that it was weird that he was sent down when he was sent down.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, we thought he was the best long man that they had, in that spot starter guy, and he still makes sense in that role. I just, I don't think he's one of the best pitchers they have. That's for sure.
he said it too, and I thought it was like broken English, and it was not. I ran it back, and he said he's one of the best pitchers in our organization. I don't know why he hasn't been here all season.
He must just like the guy. I mean,
well, and he shut the Padres down after nobody else could.
Yeah,
for 3 days, right? So
he did shut him right down, which is cool.
So who are they playing now? The Red Sox. They got is it the Blue Jays before?
Marlins, Yankees, and then
the Yankees this weekend, right?
Yeah, and then the Royals.
And then the Royals are the Royals, right?
Yeah.
I got some tickets. I'm gonna go to see the Royals. I'm turned into a massive Bobby Witt Jr. fan. I'm just signing.
Oh, he's so much fun to watch. My wife went to the game yesterday.
Oh, she did. Wow.
Yeah, I stayed home from one of my games because she wanted to go to brunch in the North End with her girlfriends. So I played in the morning, and then she went to brunch, and I skipped a game, which I never do, but I felt like she earned it. So she went to brunch, and then she's at Strager, and she texted me. She says, "We're going to the Red Sox." I said, "Okay, have fun." You're gonna get wet. So they walked up to Will Call, got tickets for nothing, and went in and sat in the front row of the bleachers.
Did it rain at the game?
Yeah, it started raining late, but it wasn't that bad. So they took off when it started raining anyways. They're not like baseball fans.
Yeah, we had a Navigators game, and I was just so concerned about the weather all day, and then it didn't rain a drop.
Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't mind skipping baseball, because I figured, we're going to get rained out anyways. There's thunderstorms coming through, and that didn't materialize. So
yeah, they went south. They went further south, but Well, it was a good day, good game. Ended up being a nice game to go watch and watch the Red Sox. So, but I was gonna maybe you can ask her, what did she think about the crowd? Because I got a theory on this whole Jared Duran thing, and the all where he is in the All Star voting, and
Red
people
Sox fans
saying,
aren't into it yet.
the Red Sox fans aren't at the games.
No, the bleachers were empty.
So this is my theory that they're saying the Red Sox the Fenway's full and it's packed and people are going to watch them. If they are, it's not the Red Sox fans, so they're not voting for the Red Sox players.
No, they're not. That's why Red Sox players aren't getting the votes that people think they deserve, because Red Sox fans are disinterested right now.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with Duran not deserving it. It's just flat out. There's just not that much interest there. So you're not gonna have more votes than the bigger markets like Houston and New York and Toronto's got an entire country. So you're not gonna get more votes than those guys if you're not filling the stadium every night.
Do you remember the days, and maybe you might be a little too young, but maybe not, because you're not that much younger than me, but do you remember the days where you had to go to Fenway to
the punch cards?
The punch cards.
Yeah, of course.
And that was the only way you could vote for an All-Star game was through using the punch cards.
They should still do that.
They should. I was going to say they should still do it, and you'd get a true testament of really who's should be an All-Star instead of just pointing and clicking for.
Yeah. Now you can use 17 emails and you can vote, 10 times each or whatever. It's kind of silly the way they do it now, quite frankly. Right. And I don't even understand the phases. Like phase 1's done, and Garen Judge wasn't even like the top vote getter through phase 1 or something like that. It's like, all right, what are we doing here?
Who's the last 6 weeks has been on the tear of a lifetime.
He's so good. I don't understand why you would pitch to him at all ever. I mean, there's nobody behind him.
So he's hitting third, right?
Yeah, behind Soto.
And Soto's hitting second. Yeah. Yeah, I would make whoever's hitting, and that will happen in the second half, as these things heat up towards the playoffs. That will happen. That's why guys can't get to certain milestones and records, home run records in a year, because teams that are in it won't pitch to guys who are chasing records like that. Because they're afraid of losing, right? So he's not going to get, and especially this year with the Red Sox. I mean, they play the Red Sox a lot in the second half of the season. The Red Sox are going to be in it. I still believe Toronto's going to pushing them, and Baltimore's going to be in it. So, those teams are going to battle it out, and no one's going to pitch to him in the second half. I don't see. He may walk more than he's ever walked, but he's not going to. He's not going to hit. I don't think he's going to hit 62 or 63 home runs this year.
No, I mean, Alex Verdugo's sitting behind him, so
I would make Alex Verdugo beat me every single night.
Absolutely, and to Verdugo's credit, he's hitting 300 with Nope, that's a lie. I'm sorry. No, he's not. His on-base percentage is 300.
Yeah, he's hitting like 230, right?
244, okay. 9 home runs. So he's not a threat, and he's their cleanup hitter right now.
No,
so
and a lot of those home runs came early too.
Yeah, absolutely they did. And Stanton is Stanton. He's not even in the lineup right now. He's on the DL.
He's on the DL, right?
And Rizzo's on the DL. So they've got after Verdugo, it gets even worse. You're talking Gleyber Torres and
LeMahieu's done. The LeMahieu's washed.
Yeah,
I don't know if he would start for you guys.
Yeah, he'd start for me, but he's hitting 188. So that's a batting champ, a 2-time batting champ.
Yeah, look at his power. His zero power.
Yeah, he's got nothing. I mean, aside from the power, he's not even making contact. So, I mean, his on base percentage is 286.
Wow, it's gross. It's gross.
Yeah, for a 2-time batting champ, that's terrible.
Let me now that we've established that we are on board with the Red Sox this year. Can they catch the Yankees?
No.
Really?
No, they can't catch the Yankees because they don't have the pitching, and they can't even. I don't think they can catch the Royals, and maybe the Twins either. So I think making the playoffs is still going to be very hard for this team. And currently they're not in the playoffs. They were last time we spoke.
Right.
So they lost 3 out of 4 games since we spoke.
And John Henry was up in the box. Yes, for the last 3 out of 4.
Oh yeah, like the owner from Major League.
Yes.
Rooting against the fucking team.
Yes.
Such a loser.
I hate that fucking song.
Yep. I wonder if they have like a picture of him in like a bathing suit.
Right, that would be unbelievable if they did. Cora. And I don't mean to jump around, but Cora's gone after the year, right? He's
100%.
Not coming back.
100%. I don't think they want him back either.
They don't. No, they don't. And it's apparent that he's asking for more help for the playoffs, and it's like falling on deaf ears.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too late, but it doesn't sound like they're in on anything really. There's been some stuff floated out there, like Passan floated out the Walker Buehler thing today, but that wasn't based on like, hey, I heard this is a thing. It's based on, hey, this is a good idea for both teams.
Yeah, Walker Buehler does nothing for me this year. Nothing.
No, I mean, he's an arm right now. They don't have a fifth starter.
Yeah, so, but you could bring somebody up and keep
Criswell,
Jansen and get Walker Buehler out of the fifth starter and keep Jansen.
But don't you kind of have to trade Jansen?
Not if you're going for the playoffs. So if you're gonna trade Jansen, trade him for prospects. Don't trade him for a guy that's a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're not going for it, right?
But and the problem too is that like a month ago, you were talking about Weissert and Slayton and Bernardino. Like we've got a solid bullpen beyond Jansen. And now all those guys are kind of slipping up a little bit.
Well, they're tired.
Yeah, I mean, Weissert's been terrible his last few times out. And his ERA is up over 4 now, I believe.
And Bernardino's even come back to earth a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you can't pitch 4 days a week and be lights out 4 days a week. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, Weissert's up at 4 ERA now. And, Slayton's still got a 2.31, which is nice.
How many innings has he pitched?
Slayton? 40 already. Holy shit. That's a lot.
What about Bernardino?
30. But he wasn't with the team to start.
And he wasn't right. He didn't come up until late April.
Yeah, so he's got 30 in Boston. And
he's probably got 40 overall.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
So those guys are tired.
Yeah. Oh, wait. He only threw 1.2 innings in Worcester this year? That doesn't seem right.
No, he wasn't down there that long.
He only played 2 games.
Yeah, they started a little late. They started like 8 days later than the Red Sox season. But nonetheless, they're all tired, and I don't blame them. Nobody likes the All-Star break more than relievers. Nobody. Gives you a chance to, just not pick up a ball for a couple days. But
Zach Kelly's the other one that's come back down to earth.
Yeah, right.
So his ERA jumped up almost a run in the last couple weeks. And Chris Martin's at 3.47, which is fine, but it's not Chris Martin. Chris Martin's usually under 3.
Yeah, and a month ago he was probably, high 1s, the low 2s.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been over a 3 ERA for a season since 21. So
yeah. So he did, again, I think they're all tired. So when's the All-Star break? 2 weeks? Is it a week from?
Right after that Royal Series, I believe.
Okay, so it's 2 weeks. So it's 2 weeks from tomorrow of the All-Star game, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. I do believe that they need to make a move. If Cora's asking for it. I'm not sure that that it's being. I think the phone is ringing and no one's answering, and Cora's leaving messages, and they're just getting deleted before they're even listened to by the front office. So
I hope they're looking for a second baseman. That'd be nice. I can't watch Valdez play second base anymore.
It's hard.
He's so bad.
Where's your boy Grissom at?
He's coming. He's healing. He's got to make sure both of his calves are healed. Because he hurt one calf because the other calf wasn't healed yet, supposedly.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, man. I think that
I think he needs a tampon.
I think that they need to make a move.
Yeah, go get Hassan Kim.
Show the fans that that they're interested in seeing what happens.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be crazy, just something.
Yeah, Hassan Kim.
Oh, really?
I like that.
Wow, what are you going to give up for him?
You don't have to give up much for him. He's a 230 hitter or whatever that can play 4 or 5 different positions. So, I don't know. Some prospect. No big names.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of an arm, but
I think they need an arm and a second baseman badly if they're going to make the playoffs. Because the Royals and the Twins are better teams than you right now. And you're not passing whoever finishes in second place in the East.
Right.
So you gotta be better than the Royals or the Twins, and you're not. They both have pitching. They both have young lineups that have speed and power, and I don't see them passing the Royals.
Sure, no. You think I assume the Royals are going to make a move. I assume the Royals are going to continue to play this fast-paced game that they're playing and energize the game that they're playing. I mean, Bobby Witt's got that team like all fired up.
Yeah. I could watch. I think he's my favorite player. With Acuna being hurt, I think Bobby Witt's my must-watch player right now. I will watch a game that doesn't matter to me at all because Bobby Witt's playing in it.
So, did you see him hit the triple to left field yesterday?
Unreal,
unbelievable.
I mean, he's just so good. Did you see the home run in that game that wasn't a home run that they called a home run?
Oh yeah, so yeah, refresh my memory. I saw the highlights.
I can't remember the whole thing, but it definitely was not a home run. And they called it a home run on the field. Then they did a replay, and they still called it a home run, but it clearly was not a home run.
Yeah, I did see that.
It was very strange.
Replays. Again, I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but replays a disaster in Major League Baseball.
It's not great. It takes too fucking long, and
it's awful.
They don't communicate enough to the fans what's happening.
It takes too long. You can't replay everything. And I'm not saying this because it happened. I'm just saying it because it should have been reviewed. Is Altuve looked like he fouled the ball off his foot yesterday, and even on replay, it was tough to tell whether he did it or not. But I got to assume they had probably an extra replay that probably an extra camera angle that probably could handle and change the call. I mean, he didn't move right when he got hit. So, anyways, they get together. The umpires get together. They don't change the call. Did you see it?
No, I missed that.
Okay, so Altuve's in the box yesterday. He hits the ball right off. It looked like it went off his foot. If I was an umpire, if I was working the plate, I would have called a foul because he never left the box. The ball kind of acted crazy. The pitcher picked the ball up, threw the ball at first. Umpire calls him out. Altuve says, "It hit my foot." So the manager comes out. They get together. The umpires talk. They don't change the call. They call him out. Altuve flips out.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Flips out. He gets ejected. And then they showed the replays. There's like 2 replays they showed. And it was tough to tell whether it did or it didn't. But my point is that there's a camera angle in that stadium
that could show
that could tell you whether it happened or not. They weren't showing it because you can't change. You can't change that call.
Yeah. So, there's no reviewing that call.
So there's no reason. So why bother? Throwing fire gas on the fire. But I didn't ever see Altuve get ejected before. He was wild.
Yeah, he gets like a little hot. He's like a little mini, little Mighty Mouse there, jumping up and down.
So the replay sucks. Honestly, I mean that home run was not a home run.
No, it definitely wasn't. That was strange.
Yeah.
There was one of those in the College World Series too. I can't remember who it was, but it was a home run. They called it not a home run, and the ball clearly went over the fence in fair territory. And they were saying that it hit the wall or something, and I'm just like, what fucking angle do you see? Because I've seen 3 angles, and I can see the ball going over the wall.
Right.
It was weird. So yeah, they got to figure that out. If they're gonna make it such a big part of the game, they need to do a better job with it. They need more cameras. I mean, the thing with with hockey and football is that there's cameras everywhere. Everywhere. Like every fucking 5 yards on the sidelines on both sides, there's a camera at the end zone pylons, the field goal pylons. There's 2 or 3 of them floating over the stadium. Like they're everywhere. And baseball doesn't have that yet. They're relying on the TV cameras,
right?
Which there's like 6 or 7 of them throughout the stadium. And if you got to make it part of the game, then do it right. So, and they haven't figured that out yet.
I agree.
Or just do away with it, because honestly, I like the human element of baseball, and sometimes plays are called wrong and sometimes they're not. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not getting everything right.
I would much rather not have instant replay, but it's not going away.
No, it's 2024.
I love the human element. I think the human element is a significant part of baseball, and part of the reason why baseball has always been great. And forever, baseball had characters, right? Earl Weaver, Sparky Anderson, even like the players, Pete Rose, Reggie Jackson, Billy Martin. And you could argue, and you could develop a fan base based on arguing calls.
Yeah, and the only one that does that now is Aaron Boone.
He gets more ejected more times than Evel Knievel.
Yeah. He's like once a week getting thrown every game.
And he's a terrible arguer too.
Yeah, he's not good. Yeah, he's not particularly convincing.
And he always comes out thinking he's protecting his players, and he's always arguing the wrong thing. Like I was watching one game where he came out to argue and got ejected, and he didn't come out to argue like 2 innings before, which was something he should have came out and argued about, and he never came out. So, but I think that you're right that human element is really gone. Like in the Andres Galarraga perfect game.
Not Andres Galarraga, but Galarraga. I forget his first name.
Andres Galarraga.
Yeah, Big Cat didn't throw a perfect game.
Big Cat did not throw a perfect game. But in that game where Jimmy Joyce got it wrong at first base, I thought like it was unbelievable. It was like, so that guy just goes into a bar. He says, listen, I didn't throw no hitter a perfect game, but I threw a perfect game.
Yeah.
No one's going to say anything, right?
Yep.
And there was no argument, no nothing.
It brought a lot of attention to baseball.
Yeah. And then the next day, right, at home plate, Galarraga came out with the lineup card and did the managers meeting at the plate.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Right? And it was great. And it was you wouldn't get that today.
The two of them are like friends now.
Yeah.
I think they threw out a first pitch together this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, you don't get that at all. And the same thing goes, with balls and strikes, they're talking about going to the robot umpires, which I guess like in theory, like, maybe it's better for the game, but you know what? Like part of being a hitter is understanding an umpire's zone and protecting with 2 strikes. And you're going to get as many calls as you don't get, and vice versa. And it evens itself out, throughout a game and throughout the season. There's no reason to go to robot umpires, and there's no reason to, get upset about bad strike zones. It all evens out, and it's part of the game. And that's one of the nuances of baseball that makes it awesome. That's a lot of these things are going away with all these, the clocks and the new rules and the replays and all the shit and the electronic communications. Fuck, I miss catchers calling signs and trying to steal the signs and, going to the multiple signs with a runner on second. And it's all like these little nuances that make baseball like just so cool. And so it's gone.
And the reason why they're all gone is because the Pink Hats have taken over and they are the only ones going to games now, right? So
yeah,
nobody understood the little nuances, the rules between the lines, the unwritten rules, unless you were a player. And they're not catering to those players, that person anymore, because they already got those people.
Yeah,
they're catering to, the Pink Hats, the corporate accounts. We don't need to get into the prices of tickets, but those prices are only people paying for those on a regular basis are the corporate companies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. And young kids aren't learning the game the way that we learned the
They have
game either.
no clue.
I mean, I don't want to talk about myself playing baseball that much, but I caught the other night in my young league, and I went over signs with my infielders, and I'm letting my second baseman and my shortstop know, like, hey, if you see me do this after I call the signs, like I'm gonna backpick this kid because I see him dancing off second base. So just pay attention. And they don't even look for this stuff anymore. Like they're like, oh, I didn't know like we had signs for that. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't know we had signs for that? Like that's part of baseball. Pay attention.
We used to relay the middle infielders would relay the pitch to the outfielders.
Yep.
So, if you were playing left field and there was a righty up, the shortstop would give you the signal whether it was a fastball or off speed.
Yep.
And you would know, with an off-speed pitch, there's a better chance with a righty up that a ball's coming your way.
Absolutely.
That shit's gone.
Yeah, I used to like wipe my ass or something. Like my right cheek was a fastball, my left cheek was off speed, something like that.
Yeah,
so right field, yeah.
And then you'd have to change it halfway through the game because someone saw you going to your right cheek the whole game.
Yeah,
right. That's the way it is.
I'm just picking my ass. Yeah, no, they don't do that anymore.
Like it used to be. And I don't, this is you like to call it old man yelling at clouds, but it used to be where, we would have contests so you could figure out the other team's signals by the third inning, right? And you could win ball games that way.
My guys can't figure out our signals. It's unbelievable. Even if so I was at second base and runner on first, and I look at my shortstop and I put up my glove and I go like that. And, that means I got the bag. And he looked at me like, what does that mean? Like, dude, I got the bag. I'll just yell it out loud. You fucking idiot. Like, there's no more nuance to baseball like that anymore.
Right. And that stuff's gone. And it's when people say, isn't the baseball romantic? It used to be. It's not anymore.
Yeah, that's too bad. I don't want to yell at the clouds anymore, though.
So I got I wanted to talk about two things, Major League Baseball related. One of them involves the Red Sox. So I will talk about that one second. Unless you have anything you want to talk about. Did you see the conversation between Keith Law and George Brett talking about hitting?
Oh, I saw parts of it. Yeah.
So George Brett puts out this diatribe of hitting instruction and how to hit the baseball properly. And Keith Law responds with, "You don't know what the hell you're talking about."
Yeah, that was awesome. I was like, did he even know who he was talking to?
Yes, he knew exactly who he was talking to. And the worst part
Keith
is
Law.
There's a shitload of people following Keith Law that believe Keith Law is right.
It's so sad. I mean, it's the same shit with Jeff Fry. And there's people that don't even realize who he is or, that he played ball. And, they go, you're lost. You're an old man. You're yelling at the clouds, get off my lawn. Like, dude, this guy played for 10 years in Major League Baseball. He kind of knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what fucking era he played in. Hitting hasn't changed. And the pitchers aren't that much better today than they were then, if they're better at all.
It's
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It makes me so angry.
You could go back and find the conversation. Well, it's on Twitter, so you could go back and find it and read the whole thing, and you'd get a popsicle headache listening to Keith Law.
Yeah, and the ones that I really love, just because I'm a catcher, is there's like 20 different catchers on Twitter that are pretty active, including Mike Piazza and like Todd Pratt and Matt Stark, and there's a whole bunch of them. And they're all catchers, and they all hate the one knee shit. And there's always like some fucking kid that's like, being on one knee is, I have a faster pop time than on 2 feet. Like, do you know who you're talking to? Like, do you realize that if getting on one knee was faster, that Mike Piazza would have done it? Because who the fuck wants to stay on 2 feet for 9 innings if you don't have to? You're calling them dumb by saying that going down on a knee is faster, because you don't think they ever thought, man, I'd like to go down on one knee. I'm getting kind of tired here. Of course they did. But they knew that they weren't as athletic, so they didn't do it because it's fucking stupid. Like, that drives me bananas. That shit, I want to throw up when I see this catching instruction these days. Like, I saw this unbelievable gadget the other day, and it was like a block with a zip cord in it, and the catchers were wrapping it around their wrist, and they were pulling the zip cord off the ground. What the fuck? You paid $100 for this stupid fucking thing so you can go like this with your arm? You fucking loser. Drives me nuts. Shit drives me nuts, man. I get so upset.
Unbelievable. And so it went back and forth for a while, but basically Keith Law was saying that, George, you don't know how to explain hitting. And I'm like, yeah. George Brett hit 393 one year. George Brett hit over 300 for his career. Yeah, that's easy. But he hit 393 one year. Like, he's literally a top 10 hitter of all time. All time. Yeah. And he hit for power, and he hit for average. And he's one of the best hitters in the world ever. Right? So, and Keith Law, who's, he blocked me long time ago on Twitter, maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago. And I never knew it because I stopped following him. And I just went to look at it, if it was the same guy, and it's the same guy because I'm still blocked. Yeah, I'm blocked by him too. It's been a long time, as a matter of fact. Really? Yeah, that's and I don't know why either. It was a long time ago. Yeah, back when he was just cutting his teeth at ESPN. Yeah, he's a dipshit. So that was one thing I wanted to mention to you, and then the other thing is, and if it's just me, tell me, this love affair in Boston with Don Orsillo. I never got it. I thought he sucked. So I thought I thought he did a good job. Okay, but like this love affair, like I don't understand it. I listened to the talk two days this weekend on talk radio about Don Orsillo, and all these fans calling up and saying, "Oh my God, it was so good to hear Don Orsillo again." I'm sitting there saying, the star of that show was Jerry Remy. Yeah, who I also couldn't stand, quite frankly. But really. Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Dave O'Brien and Don Orsillo call a game, you can't even tell the difference. Yeah, well, just Dave O'Brien roll like S's, does something with his S's, but that's really the big difference, right? Yeah, there's no difference. They're Syracuse trained fucking play-by-play guys. They sound the same. Yeah, and I hated listening to Remy and him when they got all giggly, and I always figured like D.O. is giving Jerry a hand job under the table or something. Well, he may have been, but for me, I always like listening to Remy talk about baseball in the '80s. Yeah, maybe it's because I was growing up then, and I always thought Remy was a tough little player. Sure was not as good as Jeff Fry by a long shot, but he was a local guy and he was pretty good, and he played hard and he played hurt, and he loved the Red Sox, and so I always thought that he carried Orsillo for a long time. Yeah. And honestly, a couple of times, I got bored of and tired of the whole giggling thing, but there were a couple times where I really was giggling along with them, a few different times. Yeah, that pizza thing was really funny. The pizza thing. The first 50 times you saw it. Now I'm just like, all right. The pizza thing was hysterical, right? And the other one was when he fell doing the air guitar. Yeah. And he almost fell out of the 400 Club. And that was great. Yeah, that was great. They had their moments, but to me, when a game got out of hand and they just started giggling and giggling and giggling, and they just sounded like they just did like a bunch of coke and making silly jokes. I couldn't. I couldn't. And honestly, when Orsillo left, I was kind of like, oh, sweet, thank God, I can. Get it. I never thought anything of it, but people love him around here. Oh my God! But I think it's got something to do too with just the fact that he was the voice of the team when they were winning. So he must have been the voice for at least 3 World Series, right? So I think he came in right before the first one. Yeah, and then left after. He wasn't there for 18. 14 or 15 he left. Yeah, so so he's got 3 World Series, and I think that's part of the nostalgia. Yeah, maybe. But I never really fell for that. I never liked the guy. Well, would they have won the 3 World Series without Don Orsillo being the I don't know. Play guy? I don't know. It was fucking terrible fake tan and his secret. I never bought into the whole hype, but so those are the 2 things that I wanted to mention to you. I just couldn't understand either one, I would say, honestly, the Keith Law thing was even worse than listening to the fans this week and talk about how good Don Orsillo was.
Yeah, unbelievable. So he did the game on Friday night.
Yes.
Yeah, on Apple TV. So, which I don't mind the games on Apple TV. Actually, I like the games on Apple TV because the camera angles are just 20 times better.
Right.
And the broadcast itself is better because Nessun just can't cover sports anymore, apparently. But
well, they don't care.
No, it's terrible. But the broadcasters on Apple TV are typically so fucking bad. And they've got like two broads that like don't know anything about baseball. And then they've got like, some ex-player who like barely speaks English, who's yapping up there in like Ebonics or something. And I'm just like, what in the fuck are we listening to right now? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, and for some reason, like the graphics aren't as good as a
no, the graphics suck. Yeah,
but you're right.
I'll take the camera angles though.
Camera angles are legit.
Yeah, I like those. I was really digging the in the College World Series the ump cams that they were doing.
Yeah.
So like ESPN would have like the broadcast, and ESPN2 would have like the ump cam broadcast.
Right.
I was watching the ump cam broadcast. I thought that was great, watching the pitches come in like that. I wish Major League Baseball would do more of that.
Well, I don't think. Yeah, well, you're right. You're never going to see it though,
because of the umpire union.
The umpire union will never let it happen.
Well, how come?
Unless they're going to get paid.
Oh yeah. They make pretty good money though, don't they? They make like $300,000 a year, don't they?
The good ones, not the good ones. The guys have been around a long time. The guys that have been around the longest. I think when Joe West retired a couple of years ago, he was making, and probably similar with Angel Hernandez, they were making over $450,000.
That's a pretty nice payday,
with like 6 weeks vacation
during the season.
Jesus
Christ. And it's not like you're doing a home plate every night either. It's once every 4
days. That's it. But the travel's a grind.
Yeah.
You're gone. You're gone. The whole season. And they pay based on longevity, not based on ratings or anything like that. So
yeah.
Which is the reason why Angel Hernandez was hanging on, and they must have made a hell of an offer for him to go away because he could still keep umpiring if he really wanted to.
Do you think they settled that lawsuit with him to make him go away?
No, didn't that lawsuit go away a long time ago?
I thought there was one that was still like active.
Yeah, maybe it did. Maybe they drop your lawsuit, would throw this amount of money after you if you retire, right?
Whatever they did, they should offer the same deal to Laz Diaz and CB Buckner.
CB Buckner should be the next guy. He's now the worst.
Laz Diaz is pretty bad too.
Laz Diaz has got some personality, and he runs a good game. Yeah. Like he keeps shit going, and and as an umpire, your main job is when you're running the plate specifically is to keep the game going. Don't let the game get too slow. Don't let and just manage the game. Let's go. And Laz Diaz does a good job of doing that. And Joe West was great at it. Call Joe West what you want. He was a hell of an umpire and very well respected amongst the pros.
I had no issues with Joe West.
Yeah, well, a lot of people didn't like him because he was slow and lazy and out of shape, but he knew every angle in that field more than anybody. And as he got older and slowed down, umpiring is all angles on the bases, and he knew where to be, and he anticipated better than anybody, and he ran a tight game, and no one gave him shit. And
he's a big boy too.
If they did, they got in a good nose to nose, face to face, which you don't do anymore. Although I did see one last week where they went at it pretty good. I forget who it was, but they ran. Those guys ran good games, and Laz Diaz does run a good game, and he's energetic and loud, and but sometimes when they're energetic and loud, they're trying to overcompensate for their inability to call balls and strikes.
And he's mouthy too. Like he'll give it right back to the dugouts.
Well, he's got 35 years in the big leagues, right? He's learned. He's got the respect of the union, and so he's got no problem giving it back, right? Yeah. But if some four-year umpire in Major League Baseball did the same thing that Laz does, he'd get screwed and reamed out, and vilified by the umpire in charge. So no one's going to yell at Laz for giving shit back to Aaron Boone or anybody like that. So how many games do the Red Sox have left before the All-Star break? 10? 9. Okay. Where are they going to be at the All-Star break?
Okay, let's take a look here.
Yeah, I hate going on the diatribe like that, get off topic, but
no, it's fine. I mean, we're supposed to fill the time here, right? So they are 44-39 right now,
which is amazing, by the way.
It absolutely amazing. They've got 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I'm sorry. They've got the Royals.
Do they play the A's after the Royals and then they go in the break?
Yeah. Okay. So they get 12 games. So 3. I think they go 6-6 before the break.
So they have the Marlins starting tomorrow,
and then the Yankees, the A's, and the Royals.
Okay, 6-6.
6-6.
So that would put them at 50 and 45.
Yep. Which is still
5
in the race. Over? In the race. But they're going to lose ground to the Royals because they're going to, probably lose that series, I'm guessing.
Okay. I got them. I think they've hit a wall pitching wise. I will say they're going to be one game over 500.
Oof. One game. They have to do pretty damn bad, huh?
I think that they've been smoke and mirrors for a while. Even with the Marlins in town, right? The Marlins, or they're at Marlins.
They're at Marlins.
They're at Miami.
Yankees, home against the A's, home against the Royals,
and then at Yankee Stadium, and then the homestand. So I'll say 2 games over 500. So that would put them at 3-7.
3-7. Yeah, that's a rough stretch. No, 3-7's no. So they got to be 3-9.
3-9.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be that bad, but I do think they've hit a wall. I mean, the Marlins and the A's they're easily beatable.
Well, the A's are not easily beatable.
The A's are 30-56.
Yeah, okay.
The Marlins are worse.
The Marlins are terrible.
Yeah.
The Marlins are terrible. But they've lost 3 out of 4. I could see them losing 2 out of 3 in Miami. I really could. Their pitching is honestly hit a wall.
Yeah, it has.
Hit a wall. And then
we'll see, man.
I'll see what you say what you want about the Yankees. They're going in the Yankee Stadium, and Garrett Cole did look like Garrett Cole yesterday, and he will pitch against the Red Sox next weekend. So
so we'll have next time we talk, I want to do, if we can, Friday the 12th, which is the first.
You mentioned
Royals,
that to me, right? Yeah,
that's the first Royals game.
Right.
So we'll have 9 games under our belts, 6 against terrible teams. So we'll see where they're at then.
Right. So I just want to look at my calendar. You said the 12th, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can do the 11th. I don't have to have that guest on.
No, I want to have the guest on. Schedule. There we go. The 12th. Yeah, I'm good on the 12th. Good to go.
Right, let's do it.
Let's get a tequila sponsor for the 12th.
Okay. I'll find one.
You're still not going to tell me who the guest speaker is, right?
No, you'll meet the person.
Well, I know I'm going to meet the person.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, okay, good.
It'll be fun. Make sure you look good.
Hold on. That's better.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, turn off the lights. Exactly. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's I'm looking forward to it, and
have a great 4th.
You guys do anything crazy for the 4th?
No, we'll hit some fireworks. Like Hampton or something like that. You gonna go to Swampscott's fireworks?
No, I'm gonna sit home and watch the Red Sox.
Yeah, exactly. Fireworks don't do it for me, but with the kids, I got to take them.
No, you got to do it with the kids, and I did it with my kids, and I can see them from my house. If I want.
You doing fireworks at Fraser?
No, so we're on the road on the 4th, and we're off on the 3rd.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So you get to avoid that. That's good.
Yeah, I intentionally avoided it. So
Nice. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you 9 days.
all right, see you soon.
Have a good one, man.
All right, bye.